For the 2012 model year, Jag has given the XK range a bit of a freshen up with the regular XK and XKR getting a more assertive front end and Aston Martin style side vents. But the big news is this, the range topping 542 brake horsepower XKR-S. I think it's evidence for newfound confidence at Jaguar that they're producing a car as overt as this and with a near 100 grand price tag to match. The question is that confidence justified? Now your standard XKR isn't exactly what you call slow, but this is significantly faster again. Thanks to a remapped ECU and what you can probably hear is a less restrictive exhaust, we've got an extra 39 brake horsepower, but also a freer revving top end. What's also immediately noticeable, even driving on the road, is the XKR-S is much keener to turn in. You've got more weight to the steering and less hesitation. And that's because what we've effectively got here is the same chassis changes Jaguar made for the XKR-75, meaning stiffer springs, an aluminium steering knuckle, retuned dampers and lighter wheels. While I wouldn't say the changes for this car have completely transformed the character of the XKR, it is ostensibly still a big GT car rather than, say, a rival for a GT3. In the S here, you are more encouraged to attack the corners, which goes very well with the extra poke and that loud exhaust. While the XKR-S clearly isn't a track car, it is Jaguar's most sporting car to date, so we'll have a bit of an experiment on the Portimao circuit here. One of the guys from Jag has just shown me around this Portimao circuit, and what a track it is too, and quite challenging. And as you might be able to tell, weather's changed slightly since some of the road stuff we did earlier. It's now tipping it down. Now, despite the aluminium construction in the XK, it's a relatively heavy car. So I'm pretty impressed by the way it gets turned in. It's that aluminium front suspension knuckle that we talked about earlier. Just gives a bit better control of the forces involved. And talking to the guys from Jag, I get the impression it's a pretty expensive item to make. Now there's a dynamic mode which puts the suspension into a firmer damper setting, and you sort of want that on the track, but it also comes with a sharper throttle map, and in these conditions today, I don't really want that. For a torque converter gearbox, it copes pretty well on the track. The down changes are slick and smooth, but I'd like them to be stacked. You see, I have to pull the paddle several times in the braking zones. This car has the same brakes as the XKR, and interestingly, Jag don't offer a composite alternative. So really there's two overriding conclusions for driving the XKR-S on track, and the first is how well it gets turned in. We found that on the road, and it's sort of even more impressive out on the track. But the main thing you just can't get away from just how quick this thing is, and it's not just that power figure, 542 horsepower, it's the torque, just the mid-range, it's just so strong. And in these conditions with all that poke, it's very easy to overcome the traction.